Welcome guys to a brand new video on solo leveling Arise. In today's video, what I want to do is focus on one of the most overestimated, overhyped SSR character in the game. Now, I am not calling this character bad, so people before you guys go ahead and dislike the video, no, this character is not a bad SSR. It's going to be a good SSR character if you don't have any of the other top tier SSR, but he's not as insane as I, including other content creators, have led you guys to believe. And honestly, he is the least picked SSR character out of all the ones that I have built. So the character we're going to be talking about is going to be Lim Tae-gyu. Now, I know you guys have seen videos on him saying how good he is and stuff, but he is probably the weakest breaker in the game, plus also the weakest weakest breaker, weakest dark type character in the game currently. Now, however, since we're still in early game, he does have his own usefulness because he's the only break character for dark elements. So therefore, if you're in content where you need a break dark type character, he is obviously going to be your main pick since he's the only pick. But in the future, we have better breaker character or a dark character that does breakability. They will probably just overshadow Lim Tae-gyu, and honestly, he is kind of easy to see him be power crept in the future, because if all of his damage is just locked behind his ultimate skill, you can't consistently always do that insane amount of damage, and it makes your run a little bit slower. Plus also, if you're using Song Jin-woo and his supportive capability isn't as good as the other breakers in the game, because with Emma, she provides you guys with heat absorption, which basically increases your defense capability, providing you with a little bit of shield as well, and as well as heat absorption, increasing damage penetration, defense penetration, increasing attack. And then with Seo, she has the ability to provide you guys with shield. And then you have Beck, the normal Beck, who is honestly underrated. He is definitely the most underrated SSR in the game. I've seen a lot of tier lists put him at B tier. That is absolutely false. If he's B tier, Lim Tae-gyu is definitely C tier, if that's what people are putting him at. Anyways, Beck has the ability to do insane break damage, good damage in general, plus the defense down that he provides, 20%, is actually very useful in enhancing your overall attack. So yep, Lim is definitely not the most the top tier character in the game. He is not top tier. He's a good character, but not considered top tier in my opinion. If I was doing a tier list from S plus all the way to B tier, he would be all the way at A tier with Lee Bora. But even then, Lee Bora in my opinion is better to use for like dark types, since she has a charm effect and has the ability to provide AoE support DPS as well. Plus the charm effects can go to multiple targets as well at the same time, which will just enhance your overall damage compared to what Lim Tae-gyu can actually provide you guys with. So before I carry on with the video, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, stay tuned for more content on solo leveling Arise. If you guys enjoyed this video, then go ahead and tell me down in the comment section, as well as liking the video to show your support. If you guys don't want to miss out on future content on the game, then definitely subscribe and make sure that post notification is on. Let me know down in the comment section your opinion on Lim as well. Like I said, if you don't have a lot of SSR character, he's definitely going to be a character you want to build. But if you have majority of the really top tier ones, he's going to be the one that sees the least amount of plays, because there is just better characters to use. So like I said, weakest dark breaker in the game and weakest dark type character in the game. I think the main issue with him is that all of his damage is literally locked behind his ultimate skill. So unless you're building him with the one hit set, the damage overall that he has from his, well, even if you don't build him with the one hit set for his ultimate, damage will still be great, but then the rest of his abilities are not doing good amount of damage. And also what else is there an issue with him? In general, he doesn't have great supportive capabilities. Now, of course, you're going to say, well, he has this magic boost stuff, but it increases users' core attack by 15%, which is not that insane. Like, compared to the other characters in the game, they have way better support abilities compared to Lim, which makes him honestly one of the least used character that I've built up right now. So I have I have every single character in the game. Now the ones I have not built, I don't count these characters I've built, because all that they have done, what I've done on them is basically level them up. Besides that, no gears, no set on them except for him. Literally, those two don't count as built characters. The ones you see up here are the ones that are truly built, and Lim is the least used built character I have. He is seriously overrated. I don't use Lim. The only time I feel like you would ever use Lim is fighting against Igris. Now, if you are early into this fighting tier 8 Igris and you want to clear it as easy as possible, then sure, Lim will probably give you guys more break abilities, more damage, since he has that elemental boss boost overall. But in general, any place else he is not used, and you would not be using him, trust me. So that is my issue with Lim. Okay, so right now we also don't have great supportive characters to just help increase our overall ultimate skill ability, and the fact that 45 seconds to do that. Now of course, if you use the one hit set, you can reduce the cooldown by 40%, increase your damage from your ultimate skill. But then what about when you're using his basic attack and his basic skill? If you're going ahead and using only hunters, so you can only use 3 hunters, essentially Lim Tegu would be doing nothing in the game or in your account or in that stage unless he has his ultimates, and then you switch over to use his ultimates and you switch out of him, and you literally don't want to switch into him because the damage loss is going to be insane. So yeah, especially if you're going to build him with the one hit set as well, you want to use other supportive characters with the destroyer set. So let's say I'm using content. I always use these 2 characters, honestly. Those 2 characters are always my used ones. But if one of them has a debuff on, or they can't be used because of the elemental disadvantage, I would always use Beck. Even though Beck build is absolutely atrocious right now, his damage is really good, his breakability is nutty, and he is definitely extremely good compared to Lim, who I just leave because he doesn't really offer much to the team I'm using. Especially with Beck, I can actually give myself a decrease defense by 20% to the opponent, which will actually increase our damage overall, which will be very, very good. Whereas with him, his buffing that he really provides is magic boost, but it's not, let me see, when skill hits, fires 2 magic arrows. Yeah, so yeah, it can only provide you buffing capability with his support skill, so that's when you have to use your Sung Jinwoo. But even then, the core attack isn't important to Sung Jinwoo. Like, increases users' core attack is not that helpful in general compared to what Beck offers, compared to what Emma offers, compared to what Seo Jiwoo offers, compared to him, literally compared to every single character except those 2. Those 2 are just B tier and garbage characters you would technically not use in general. Now I think I shit on Hong Dong-soo too much because he is still a useful character because of that stun. But in terms of like building him up, he is definitely not like, oh, build him over the other characters. So if I was to do like a tier list, I will be making a tier list very, very soon. And if I was to do like a tier list, it would be her first. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is me ranking every single SSR in the game, and he is third to last because having a character that all this damage is locked behind here just makes him kind of useless for everything else. So against Igris, I do think you should use him because, you know, you're able to break even faster, and of course if you build him with the break set, it's really, really good. But once again, I don't need him. I could just use him. I have 2 breakers. My skills also focuses on breaking as well, so it's fine. Literally, it works extremely well. I can use Min, I can use Beck, I can use him. I can literally use any other characters besides Lim. It's not like, yo, you must use him. So let me go ahead and show you guys combat right now using the other supportive characters. Then I'll also take him into like hunter only content where you can see how useful he is, but in general his damage overall is not great. Okay, also, oh come on, I recently switched my buttons, so I'm getting used to it. I switched my buttons, so I hope I don't mess up right now because I need to get used to which button does what. Okay, so we're gonna do this, wait for him to attack. There we go, back button, yep, there we go. So we got ourselves an attack buff, we've got breaking ability, there we go. Okay, nice. And it's gonna dash in here. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna break now. Perfect. I didn't hold it, but thank you to the community for letting me know that you can actually hold the scythe skill to deal more damage. I didn't know about that. Okay, we got the shield. So within, how long has this been now? There we go. Perfect. So let's go to 2 minutes, and then we use other characters next time. We use Lim next. There we go. And there we go. So 40. I was able to bring down the boss's HP to 40. Let's switch over to using Lim, and we will take the Lim inside the gates as well, so we can test only hunters and see how useful he is. But honestly, I think a lot of people who already have Lim or have a lot of the other characters in the game, I've realized that Lim is the least used character and you don't need him at all. So let's go over to here. We're going to switch over to Lim. There we go. Of course, I'm not saying it's a bad unit. I'm saying it's overrated. So use Lim right now. We will break a lot faster though, which is great, I guess. Okay, so let's go. Hopefully we can dodge as well as we did last time. Let's go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna break a lot faster. As you can see, there we go. So we broke faster. Perfect for us. Now we use this, but we don't really get extra damage buff from him. There we are. We missed that one. That's fine. There we go. So last time we were able to get the HP down to 40. There we go. Use this next. Perfect. There we go. Okay, kind of missed that one. Okay. Kind of missed that one again. Sorry about that. Not that much dodging. But again, only 47. So a loss of damage because, of course, Beck provided us a 20% damage buff. So it wasn't like a huge significant loss in damage, but it was still noticeable, as you guys saw. Like I said, I would use other characters before I even decide to use Lim. So let's go over to like hunter only content now. So you will see that in general, Beck's damage is just not that great until he bursts, until he uses his ultimate. And then you have to now wait until he can use his ultimate next. And then besides that, it just makes it kind of last longer than it should be lasting. So let's go over to gates right now. Okay, so we go over to the S rank gate. This is difficulty 22. So I was already doing a bunch of testing right now. So let's go ahead and use Lim. Like I said, he is the worst breaker in the game because honestly, Sio and Emma would be the first two, and then followed by Beck. I've seen a lot of people, like I said, put Beck at B tier. That is absolutely false. Beck is way better than Lim. Not way better, but Beck is literally the answer for like best breaker in the game. Just solely focused on breaking, he will probably be there. So first of all, we use Lim, and we won't use Sio. So like I said, in a situation like this where Sio can't be used, I would honestly just go with this, and then the next one would be Beck. And then I would either, since Beck, I don't really need what's it called, attack buff, because none of them scales off attack. I would use him. So usually this is what I'll go to, or in fact I would switch out 2 breakers and then switch out either, you know, Troy inside, so I get that additional attack buff, as you can see. But anyways, let's go ahead and use Lim. So actually we use Lim first. We use Lim with the exact same team right now, and then we switch over to Beck, where I will show you that Beck is just overall in general better, since Beck's damage is great from his normal attack, great from his skills as well, normal skills. So with Emma, you basically want to do this. You want to basically get her into the, there you go. Now we're in heat emission, perfect. Okay, we use this next. Switch over to Lim, and one of the worst thing I hate about him is the fact that so in general, the damage from here isn't that great. It's the fact that his second skill, okay, so if you can't use his ultimate, just switch out of him, guys, because he's just not going to help you with dealing damage. There's other characters you would use. As you can see, just stay away from Lim until he gets his ultimate. And to be honest, the build I have right now for the rest of my team, don't actually focus on buffing up when he can get his ultimate. So honestly, it's going to be not great for Lim right now. So okay, now he has his ultimate, and then I'll showcase using his ultimate. But then he stands still, and dodging is like, okay, can we even dodge? So even the damage from the, oh, see, it wasn't like insane damage. So we only have one opponent left actually, so that's perfect. But until it, so there we go. So now I'm gonna switch out Lim and use Beck instead. Now you will see a better showcase with Beck simply because the defense down, great spammable attacks. So yeah, let's go. That's Lim. Unless he does his ultimate, it's really garbage. Everything else he does is really not great. Okay, so yep, let's go into this one. Just gonna switch over to Beck. Always my go-to breaker, honestly. Let's go. Okay, so let's go in. Now, of course, this is me without using the exclusive weapons. Okay. Heat absorption. Oh, I thought I switched, but I guess not. Okay. Of course, the only thing I really hate about Beck is the fact that most of his skills requires him to jump up in the air. Okay. Oh, actually, I don't think you can use Choi and Lim together and Beck together simply because they both do defense down, and I think someone told me that defense down don't really stack. Oh, I thought yeah, I think someone told me that defense down don't stack. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. There we go. Way easier time. Okay. So I think right now we have only 2. So perfect. That was actually very odd. I didn't mean to win. I didn't mean to win, but look at this. It was way easier using Beck, and it was way much better for the team. So I do think you can't use Beck and Choi together because of that defense down. I don't think it stacks. Or defense. No. Thing is defense penetration. His is defense down. Never mind. It does stack. Troy's is defense penetration. Lim is defense down. So that works. So he has utility, has great break, has utility, has great break damage, does huge DPS, has utility, does great break damage and great damage, great utility break damage, damage only focused on his ultimate, and besides that, nothing really much he can offer the team. So yep, like I said, out of all characters I have, he is the least used one out of the ones I've built. I even use Libora. The only time I can use Libora is if I'm not using Min, but I don't use Libora that often simply because I don't have the best build for her, and I prefer using Lim because at least I get some damage buff, some HP from him. With her though, the ability to literally give a lot of charm effects with AoE is really good. So yes, he is the worst dark unit and he's the worst breaker, but it doesn't mean he's the worst characters in the game. He's still an A tier character, but just falls short of being the best in the game and simply just overrated. Anyways, it's been about AC Gamer. Once again, I am not saying he's bad because I do think people are going to dislike the video thinking I'm saying he's a bad unit. I just think there's other characters you would use besides Lim. Literally, it won't be your go-to pick. I have like multiple characters and he's never my pick, literally. So yeah. For this one, great AoE, yeah, really nice. Anyways, it's been about AC Gamer and I'm out.